It is, I'm getting a thumbs up from Steve. So it is now 9 o'clock and we will begin. So if we could, can we start off with a word of prayer? Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for all the blessings you've given us. We thank you for this holy place, this spiritual home for so many of us. We thank you for this gathering of your children. Lord, if we speak, let us fill the Holy Spirit and speak with our heart, not just our mouths. If we're listening, help us to listen engaged and fully aware and listening for truth. This we all pray in your Son's holy and everlasting name. Amen. Good morning to all, both here and online. It doesn't look like this next thing is going to be important, but I'm going to say it just in case. We do have a children's activity in Pender Hall. So if there's kids underneath the seats that I can't see, there's all kind of fun activity out there. But anyway, so we were prepared whether we needed it or not. So the unwritten agenda for today is Grace and Nancy are going to talk about an exciting offering coming up here at Redeemer later in the year. And then we're going to turn it over to Brother Jeff Pond, who's going to talk to you about parish life. He's going to talk to you about some of the stuff we're doing, going to do, hope to do, want to do. And then we will open it up to Q&A. As always, when we do Q&A, it can be about parish life or it can be about anything that's on your mind. The vestry is committed to open communications. And part of that is, we put stuff in reveals, we send out emails, we talk with these town halls. So this is your chance to ask whatever is on your mind, and we'll take the best shot we can at answering it. So we do have several members of the vestry here. So hopefully between us all, we can get it answered. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Grace and Nancy.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning, everyone. So I'm going to draw your attention to the flyer that you may have received when you walked in. This is for a new and exciting opportunity, a formation opportunity this fall called EFM, which is Education for Ministry. Now, since I came to Redeemer, this has been something that I've heard little whispers of folks wanting to start, wanting to do, and so we're finally doing it this fall. So Nancy and I are going to share a bit more about what this entails. So EFM, Education for Ministry, is a program in practical theology based on those principles, which are living in a community that worships, prays, reflects, and most importantly, studies. So they will study together. Our living in community here at Redeemer looks like a group of 6 to 12 participants. There is a limit on 12 participants, so if you're interested in joining, please sign up as soon as possible. And we will meet one evening per week to engage in a shared, structured fellowship experience, worship, prayer, reflection, and Bible study. Nancy and I will be the co-mentors. We will facilitate discussions. And when I'm away on maternity leave in November, Mother Molly will step in as the co-mentor in my place.
What does the program schedule look like? Actually, it's 36 sessions that meet weekly. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but it's a really in-depth program that is entering its 50th year. It's underwritten by the School of Theology at the University of the South at Sewanee. So the first session is August 7th, and the last session for the coming year is June 16th. And we will meet on Monday evenings from 6 to 9 in a hybrid meeting situation. We'll meet together the first Monday of the month in person at 6 p.m. in Pender. And then the other meetings, the subsequent meetings each month, will take place online. So this is a hybrid model to give us a little more flexibility for the meeting. One of the integral parts of this program is the fellowship. So when we meet in person, we'll do a really casual dinner. We can have fellowship at home with a sandwich when we meet via Zoom. So we're trying to meet people's needs in as flexible as possible way. I also want to let you know that there will be some holiday breaks. Labor Day, which is a Monday, 2 weeks at Christmas, 2 weeks at Holy Week, and Easter and Memorial Day. So again, August 27th through June 16. One of the things that Grace and I are excited about is having an opportunity to get in-person training. Sewanee is only doing 3 of these, and 1 is in Richmond, and we are already enrolled.
So you may be wondering, how much time do you need to prepare for these weekly meetings? So study time will vary from person to person, but generally prepare for about 3 hours a week of studying the materials. And again, like Nancy said, the materials come from Sewanee, the University of the South, which Molly may be very biased and say is the best seminary. Yeah, they've got some great material coming from there. And one of the books, the main book that we will be using is the Bible. It is this version, the New Oxford Annotated Bible with Apocrypha. So if you're interested in joining, this is one of the main textbooks that we will be using.
One of the things about an annotated Bible is that there are study notes at the bottom of the pages. So they help you with those thorny passages that you were really puzzled by.
Next.
Oh, I'm next. Okay. How was the session conducted? Well, we all like an agenda. So here's the agenda. No, where's Dan? Nothing, no puns intended. Okay, this is what happens. Dinner, if we're in person. Dinner, if we are remote. Followed by an opening devotion or prayer, a check-in, theological reflection. That's going to be sharing what you have learned or interpreted from the readings that you have done during the week, and a closing prayer.
Thanks. So you may wonder, is this going to be similar or different to what has been offered at Redeemer in the past? So Redeemer's offered an EFM class many years ago, and I wonder, show of hands, who here has taken the class? So the walkers have taken it, a fair number of other people have as well. So it'll be just a little bit different, right? Time has passed, and as Nancy said, the curriculum is being revamped at Sewanee, so we won't see any changes until 2025, I believe, but we will be offering a new offering that follows the curriculum that they give to us. So it'll be similar yet different.
How do I join? Well, we are really looking forward to building a cohort that connects with one another. Some years ago, I was with Dan and Cindy. Who else is here who's on the search committee? Fred, yes. Sorry, Fred was the chair. We met on Monday nights, and when I committed to it, I thought, oh my goodness, what have I said I would do? And it was the best night of the week. It was a time of reflection. Cindy is nodding. We just learned so much about what we believed and how we connected. And it's been one of the great blessings of my spiritual life. And I'm hoping that this will be the same. You're getting something online today, an email from Grace. It has a registration link, and we need to register by July 16th so that materials can be ordered and arrive in time for dissemination at our first session. So there's also a draft of the schedule that's linked on the registration form.
Yes, and after July 16th, registration will be open up to the community. So we've already received information from community members at fellow Episcopal churches that want to join our EFM class. So we're holding that registration off until July 16th. So if you're interested, please sign up before then. So what is EFM not? It's not a personal therapy session. It's not getting a degree in ministry, so to say, but it is a wonderful class where you sign up. It's 4 years long. You sign up 1 year at a time. And like I said in the quote in your flyer, 2 of my family members took this, and it changed their lives. It really influenced how they interacted with their family, with me, with their church, and of course, their ministry. So I highly encourage you all to think about joining.
Thank you very much. We look forward to hearing from you.
I'm just going to add that there is a cost to this. It's $450. $350. The diocese underwrites part of it. The cost is more than that, but it's $350 per year. But you only commit to 1 year at a time. 4 years sounds like such a huge bite to try and chew, but you only commit to 1 year at a time. And this first year, you'll be studying the Old Testament. So what I like to tell people is it's work, it's time, it's money, and it is so worth it. You will gain so much from this opportunity. But there's only 12 spots, so first come, first serve. Don't be slow in signing up.
So while Jeff is coming up, I will throw out for any of the married couples out there. Jenny and I did it, and it was a way when I was working and she was busy. We considered it a date night, and it was a way to make sure that we could spend at least one evening together.
If you can't obligate yourself for this year, next year, can you still take it?
Theoretically, yes. So if there are open spots, you can join in and you would be under the year 1 curriculum, and other folks would be in different years. So it's, I don't know the right word for it, but you can have different years going at the same time. So yes, parallel years. So absolutely, Dan.
And I would add that that's actually one of the blessings of the program. When we started off, we had people who were in their 4th year, we had people in the 3rd year. So they would bring some learnings that they had from the 1st year when we were going over our readings for the first. So it's very helpful that over the years as you grow, you have that. So Jeff Pond is one half of our Parish Life group. Rob Schmidt could be here, but Jeff's going to take the lead and tell you about Parish Life.
Thanks, Dan. Good morning, everyone. I kind of wish Rob was here. He's the speaking pro. I'm more of the behind the scenes guy. But I did want to share with everyone, kind of giving an idea of where we've been and where we're going, and then where we hope to go, with some other kind of long-term ideas. And then, of course, we'll have some time for questions from you guys. So, kind of starting back, this is my second year of the vestry. Last year was Parish Life owns by me, and it was a bit of a bumpy ride, I would say. So I think it really is great to have a partner, and Rob has been a fantastic partner in this. Definitely from a structure, he's very organized and has really great structure. It's not necessarily one of my strong points. So I've been really pleased to have a partner in that. But I like to also remind everyone that this is our ministry, but it is not our program to run. The program is really the parish. It's only going to be as good as the volunteers we can get and the ideas that we have. And so I always encourage people, please reach out. Mine and Rob's email and phone numbers are out there. You can always drop a note. We have a box in the back, so feel free if you've got notes or questions or whatever you may have. But I know my philosophy is, if you didn't like something, then come and volunteer for it. If you've got a great idea, come and give it to us and help us bring the right people together for getting the right group. So let's start with kind of a where we've been and what we've done this year. And I look back, and we're right in the middle of the year, and I'm thinking, well, we've had some events. So we kind of started with the annual meeting. We hosted a luncheon that was kind of partially shared by the vestry and hosting the meeting, and then our program assisting with putting that together. In February, we had our Shrove Tuesday pancake dinner, and then moving into March, we had quite a few events. We had the family game night, the first of those. We're trying to do those quarterly right now. We had the men's wild game dinner, which was fantastic. We had a great time, raised some money, and really enjoyed great fellowship food. We had the Easter brunch. I was not able to attend. I was out of town, but I understand it was a wonderful experience. Everyone had a great time coming together after Easter services and enjoying each other's company and getting a little bit of food and fellowship. In April, we had a cleanup and hike through Midlothian mines. Participation was a little low there, but we appreciate everyone who did come out, was able to help, and we like the idea of kind of marrying the cleanup efforts of some of our outreach with our fellowship and gathering of parish life, and more events like that we're hoping to see in the future. And speaking of hikes, as well as just kind of getting out into nature, which is something else Rob and I have really kind of committed to opening Parish Life to. In May, we had a hike through Belle Isle Park, and it was another way to get into nature and enjoy all that God has created for us. So that's kind of where we've been. We did have our second game night on the 21st. That's kind of like it just happened. So I don't know who all was able to get out to participate in that. Unfortunately, again, I was not able to attend, but I understand it's been a very popular getting families together to play board games and enjoy each other's company and sharing some pizza. So I think it's been something that I think has given a lot of enjoyment, and it's multi-generational. So looking forward, we do have the parish picnic. We try to do a picnic at the request of Molly anytime we have 5 Sundays a month. So we're trying to stay on that schedule and have a picnic. It's going to be fairly informal. I encourage you to sign up if you haven't yet. But it's basically bring a side or dessert depending on your last name, and the church will be providing chicken and rolls. I think is kind of what we're looking to accomplish, and make sure we have the right amount of food for everyone. Please be sure you're signed up. Even if you don't have something to bring, just be sure you're letting us know that you're going to be there, and because we want to make sure we at least have enough chicken for everyone. Following that, July just gets busy with vacations and people out of town, so we're kind of taking July off, so to speak. But we do have August pretty well loaded. We will have another family game night that Friday before school starts, and we will also have our rally day. The rally day is critical to the growth of the parish, and I encourage everyone to be at rally day. You get to learn more about the each commission of the vestry, and you get to see where you may be called specifically, because the church runs on volunteers, and on where you may feel you are best called to help and serve this wonderful parish for it to grow. So Rally Day is something that we're really looking forward to. It was a lot of fun last year, and we'll have more to come on that. In September, we're planning another hike. This one is going to be a little bit more travel, but we did pick a fairly simple hike, so it won't be too strenuous. It is the Blue Ridge Tunnel, and it's very cool. It's actually cold, but you kind of walk through this tunnel, and as you walk through, you feel the chill of underground, and it gets dark, and it's fun, and it's fairly straightforward. It's paved. It's not super, no hills or rocks, and it's just a great walk. And it's something that we encourage all to sign up for once we have a date. Bring flashlights and water. Well, like I said, we will definitely get all the information out as that comes closer. But yeah, sounds like flashlights, water. Bring that. And the idea is we'll circle back because it's quite a drive out. We'll circle back and hit the King Family Vineyard. So a little wine afterwards, a little gathering of for those who may enjoy just stopping in, and they've got really great wine and some beautiful place. I'm gonna circle back to our October event because it's something that I'm gonna probably spend a little more time talking about. But there is going to be a big event in October. In November, we will have our Thanksgiving feast. As always, it's always a wonderful time and very well attended. Please reach out to myself, and Fred always does a great job with putting that together, and we appreciate that. And then in December, we'll have yet another family game night, probably earlier in the month, and then lessons and carols if we may. Again, that's more of a church-wide event, but we will certainly hope to have that, and then have a post-reception that will be hosted by Parish Life. So we feel like the calendar's pretty well planned out. The biggie that I want to talk about is in October we're having we're going to call it it's barbecue beer fundraiser, but right now the tentative name for it is the Winterfield Barbecue Beer and Music Fall Festival at the Church of the Redeemer. The idea is we're trying to kind of give the parish a signature event, somewhere along the lines of what you might see with the Greek festival or Lebanese food festival, and this is going to be kind of what we would call just kind of the first run, or kind of a proof of concept to see if it works. It will be a fundraiser. We will be selling tickets for that, but we do believe that what we'll get out of it is participation from the community at large, basically coming to see how wonderful our parish is, and we'll have the opportunity to have a little bit of a competition. We'll have a barbecue cook-off. So there will be participants that will be kind of doing their own style of barbecue. You'll get to vote. Ticket levels are yet to be determined. We're still working on that, but the idea will be you'll kind of have an all-you-can-eat. You'll have a tasting level, and then you'll have maybe a like kids ticket. But we're going to do 6 and under will be free. But we'll do kind of different tiers of tickets. Each ticket will come with a couple of beer tickets. Of course, if you're a non-drinker, that ticket, again, we'll have a ticket specifically for that as well. We are getting sponsors. We've had a few. We've had already some pretty good press and promotion in Stroll magazine, and we're going to have more as we get closer. But we've got a really great team that's been putting this together, and we're getting closer to really kind of getting that to where we'll have a lot more information in the next month or so. And again, the advertising and all of that kind of going out into the communities, getting people here to see what a wonderful place this is. And we will have, I believe we'll be getting craft beer, the barbecue, and then myself and a friend will be playing music throughout and having some live and recorded music throughout to kind of keep the party going, so to speak. So I think it's going to be a great event. I think it's going to be something that hopefully will become the Redeemer event, where we can host this barbecue festival and make this kind of a one-of-a-kind event for this area and bring people together. And people will look forward to that, right? It'll be a thing that they will know. It's coming next fall. We had a great time last year and hope to grow it year after year. That's definitely a kind of forward-looking proposal that we have, and we hope that it will continue. We will obviously use those funds for upkeep, because I think it's really important that we keep, especially our parking lot, looking great. Certainly lots of things that the church needs. So just kind of making sure that we're using that money appropriately from that fundraiser. But we do hope to bring in some money, but also make it a parish-wide and community-wide event, bringing people in and of course celebrating with each other. From the perspective of kind of looking forward in general, that's going to be at your recommendations. Of course, if it sounds like something we're missing or leaving out, I know we've heard dinners, doing like another spaghetti dinner. I would love to put something like that together. It will take some hands and help. We've not had one in a while, and I think that was also a really great event. Maybe something a little bit more smaller than extended out to the community at large, but could potentially bring more people in. That might be something we could consider, but it is something where we definitely would need to get it on the calendar now, because our calendar is really booked up through, and I'm not saying just mine and Rob's, I'm saying the church. We've got events planned almost every weekend already kind of throughout. So it's exciting. It's an exciting time to be here. And I loved hearing about the ministry that's opening up here. Again, another great reason to say how much we love this place, and hopefully we will continue on with those events that you love so much. I will go ahead and open it up for questions now. So if you'd like, okay, I can actually do this one.
What is the date of Rally Day?
So Rally Day, the date I did not write down. I know it's going to be third weekend in August, I want to say. It is on the calendar. It's earlier this year because school's going back earlier, schools everywhere, and so we're trying to have it kind of coincide with before we get to the Sunday school year. So, yeah.
I think it's August 25th.
Thank you. Thanks, Dan. Yeah, it's one of those.
Some people ask what happened to Ed Street. This is basically the handoff to vestry for this festival. So those people that asked to volunteer with me with the fundraiser, This is the event. Okay, can you hear me now? Testing. I'm sorry, what I was saying is, this is the event. It's going to be October 12th.
October 12th.
Okay, so basically, we're going to need people for volunteers. We're also going to need sponsors. So there'll be more announcements and information about that down the road.
Hi, Terry Burgess.
Terry.
I have a question. Has there been any consideration of reviving the Advent Party? And for those of you who don't know what it is, it was an adult function usually held at someone's house. A lot of times it was on the Saturday before help me guys here, before the lessons and carols maybe? Anyway, it was very, very popular. Hardly cost the church anything other than paper products, ice. Someone volunteers their house, and everybody brings food. I've had it at my house. It was extremely easy because I didn't have to cook. I just had to clean my house and set tables up. And what we usually did is we started recruiting about this time of year, saying, does anyone want to host the Advent party? I'm just wondering, it was just because it was a wonderful, wonderful social event for parishioners.
And these are the types of things that, like,
I'm sorry?
these are the types of things that I definitely want to hear about, because these are things, I haven't been, in the parish long, so these are the types of events that would be great to have, so, yeah.
I was just going to say, I can talk pretty loud. I was going to say another thing. I had forgotten about that with Terry. We used to have a progressive dinner every once in a while, too. I don't know if anybody remembers that, where we'd go to different people's houses, somebody for appetizers, somebody for, main dinner or whatever. But it's just another thing, if you're interested.
Yeah, these things are the types of things, like I said, if we have interest, obviously it sounds like we do, we definitely want to get these things calendared out. And if it's hosted at different people's homes, then that is also something that obviously we don't need the church for. So that's good that we can kind of get that out there. So I will make sure I'm writing these down afterwards. I didn't got just the one hand, but
Jeff,
definitely
this is the opportunity for me to step in and say, one of the things that we would like to do is, right now Parish Life is basically a two-man show, and it should never be that. And it particularly shouldn't be that when it's for a parish of this size. So I would like to add two committees and augment this committee of two. So if you are interested in serving with Parish Life, please, you're going to hear from me about it. Here's the two committees I want to add. I want to add a kitchen committee. People who are familiar with our kitchens and willing to be on a list of, a call list. Can you help with this, that, or the other event in either setup or cleanup of the kitchen? And that would extend to things when we have like a funeral reception. We really need a group of people who are willing. The ideal people are the people who don't mind pitching in, but prefer to be in the background. So a kitchen committee is something that we're going to have to put together. The second one is I'm going to call them annual events. Like the Thanksgiving feast has been an annual event. And so it's not to say that you might not have somebody be the champion of an event, but an annual event committee that would know, hey, we've got this coming up, let's be thinking about it. An Advent party could be added back to being an annual event. Rally Day is an annual event. The spring picnic is an annual event. And it doesn't need to be reinvented, but it does need to be worked on, planned, and gotten ready for, along with the kitchen committee, right? So you're going to be hearing me ask for volunteers to be in these two committees. They will be part of, but not directly, Parish Life. Parish Life needs more people, and this would be for the big ideas. Like, you might have an Advent party be part of Parish Life this year because it hadn't been done in a long time, and then it would transfer to be an annual event. Does that make sense? And so we need to have, poor Rob and Jeff cannot do this by themselves anymore. It's crazy to ask them that. By the way, have you ordered the chicken for next Sunday?
I mean, I've not ordered it, no, because I'm still waiting to make sure, that we've got the right head count. We can do that up until Thursday. So.
But that's the whole point, is that, here's an event, and I'm having to say to the vestry members who are the liaisons for this, by the way, have you ordered the chicken, right? So you'll hear from me in the next couple of days about asking for volunteers to be part of these committees on an ongoing basis.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I just want to add that currently the church does have foyer groups, which are like progressive dinners, and they're small groups, and people can take turns hosting dinners and stuff. And so, I'm sure that there will be another sign up for foyer dinners if anyone's interested, probably in the fall.
Yes.
And regarding the Advent party, I think it's a great idea. I sing in the choir along with several others, and to have it the night before lessons and carols, maybe we might want to think of a different date. So anyway, but it's a great idea.
I see other hands. I won't make you run.
I think ever since COVID, a lot of us have missed adult functions. And it's something that we used to have frequently in the parish hall. And different people would be responsible for different types of activities. I love the game nights that we've had. It doesn't draw very many senior members of our church, however. I think the hikes are wonderful for families, but I think for adult fellowship that we really need to have more opportunities here at church. And I think if we have a committee, as Molly has suggested, a committee of people who are also interested in this same thing, that we can do this. I mean, I don't think it was ever meant for two people to do every single activity. That's really not possible. So we don't expect Jeff and Robert to do all of that. But I think with a committee, I, for one, am ready to sign up. Hope you will too. Bye.
Thanks. Actually, and another great point that comes off of that is if it's just Rob and I doing it, it's not very representative of the parish at large. So we need your ideas and we need your assistance and participation on a fellowship or parish life style committee, because if it's just us, then it's just two guys with ideas, right? You funneling ideas from the parish. So highly encourage, we can get this together, a committee that can actually be representative of things that the parish wants. So how are we doing on time?
If you do not find yourself called to this team that Molly's talking about, please know there are other teams that need help. Every vestry member, we have 12 vestry members, every vestry member has a commission they work on. They should not be doing, and for you when you come on vestry, should not be doing all that work. It's teams that the vestry member represents that does the work. As Molly said, we've had Jeff last year, now 2 people this year on Parish Life. Eric Frazier was a solo buildings and ground. This year we have Mark Baker and Stephanie Churchman leading it, but they've got a team, I think, of 8 people now that we recruited last year between some active recruitment and Rally Sunday. We got 8 people. Now we got a team, and the team is the key. The team's the one who makes the decisions, not the vestry person. The team decides what we do. The vestry person's there to support them, come to the vestry for something if they need it, and also to be an ear going, that may not fit in with what we're doing over here. So please, if you're here at Redeemer, you're part of the family. And like any family, we've got more chores than we can get done in a day. We need everybody being part of that family in one way or the other. Whatever speaks to you, when the Holy Spirit is tugging on you, that's probably a good indication that's the way to go, whether it's adult formation and helping the adult formation group with teaching, coming up with subjects, whether it's evangelism and new membership and coming up with new ways to get our newest parishioners engaged in the church so that it doesn't just feel like a place they go on Sunday morning. It feels like a church family that they want to be an active, engaged participant of. So there are tons of opportunities. If you realize that you're not an active member on any team, please prayerfully consider. We've got activities that if you have trouble walking, not a problem. We've got opportunities where we just need you to think. If you're one who likes to get up and go, but you don't want to talk, we got opportunities for you. There literally is opportunities for every personality type out there. We just need to know your interests. So please, grab a vestry member on a Sunday after church and say, hey, these are the kinds of things I'm interested in. What can I do? One of us will figure it out. We'll help you figure it out. So, other questions? We've got another 5 maybe minutes, 3 to 5 minutes before I get the yank. Well, I want to thank, by the way, I was remiss at the beginning. First of all, I'm Dan Walker. Part of the reason I forgot to say that is for maybe the first time in my life, I think I actually know everybody in the room. But you may not know me, Dan Walker, and just so that you know, because your vestry member is important, Cindy Taylor, who does adult formation, Laura Broman, who does evangelism and membership. You're not going to see him because he's way in the back hiding. Mark Baker, always in the back, who does buildings and ground. We're here to represent you, okay? So the best way we can do that is if we know you, and we know you well. So we're trying to make an effort to get to know you. Please make an effort to get to know us. Any last questions? Thank you all so much. Our goal with all of these is, I was listening this morning to a song, an old Three Dog Night song, and it had a wonderful sentiment, which is, here's something that's worth remembering. So we hope at each of these, if we just share one thing that's worth you remembering, then it's been a time well spent for us. We hope it is for you. If you're here for the service, we look forward to seeing you in a few minutes. If not,